Okay. Do you have a hard copy for him too?
Yeah.
How are you? I know. What's the city? Oh yeah.
This one is more paper. Oh man. At least you're honest. It's only politics, you know. It's only politics.
Just don't give me my minute to check, but we're good.
Keep creating divisions, races and sexes and everything else. Yeah. I hope. No, Ferrysburg, yeah. Yeah, true, yeah.
I mean, really.
You make a resident angry enough, then who knows?
It is.
It is 7 p.m. and time to call the Ferrysburg City Council meeting to order for Monday, June 16th, 2025. Amber, could you call roll, please?
Councilmember Montgomery.
Here.
Councilmember Sias.
Here.
Councilmember Murdoch.
Here.
Councilmember Kate.
Here.
Councilmember DeWitt.
Here.
Councilmember Sturley. Mayor Carlson.
Present. Thank you. If we could all, yes.
Support.
Motion and support. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Amber, you better call roll.
Okay. Councilmember Montgomery.
Yes.
Councilmember Sias.
Yes.
Councilmember Murdoch.
Yes.
Councilmember Kate.
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt.
Yes.
Mayor Carlson.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. If we could all rise for an invocation by Pastor Nate Bisker from the Ferrysburg Community Church, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you. Appreciate the invitation to be here tonight and to open the meeting with prayer. So let's do that. Lord, we've come here to make decisions tonight, to listen, to hear, to ponder important issues. And we thank you for the council members who have been entrusted with that responsibility. We also acknowledge that our understanding of how everything we decide will impact the future is limited. We don't know the future. But we also know that you are aware of how things work together. And so we are asking for your wisdom and your guidance in the meeting tonight. We pray that we would listen well, that we would listen to each other, that we would listen to the voices of the residents of Ferrysburg, and that we would listen to your voice, and that the outcome of this meeting tonight would be blessing for the city and its residents. And I pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And I thank you all. Now is the time for public comments. This time on the agenda is for any citizen to direct brief comments or questions to the City Council. Time for public comments will be given when the agenda item is discussed. If you have a comment or question, please stand by the wall near the podium to ensure visibility and to be recognized. And after being recognized by the mayor, please give your name and address of residency for the record and proceed with your comment or question. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Do we have any public comment tonight?
It was.
Rebecca Happ, former mayor, City of Ferrysburg, P.O. Box 85, Ferrysburg, 49409. My statement is in reference to the agenda item 7D. During previous City Council meetings, I provided documentation identifying Mr. Carlson's unilateral changes to the Ferrysburg City Council policy procedures, potential violation of Title II of the American with Disability Act, ADA, which prohibits discrimination by governmental entities against individuals with all programs, services, and activities. Despite these concerns being raised, Mr. Carlson has not issued a retraction or clarification how he unilaterally changed the current policy. Given the serious legal implication of noncompliance with federal law, particularly concerning accessibility and non-discrimination, I strongly urge that Agenda Item 7D be tabled until the city attorney provides a formal written legal opinion, specifically ADA Title II. I provided Mr. Bessinger the ADA Title II documentation on Friday, June 13, and 2025. This is a matter of public accountability, public responsibility, and proceeding with such a legal opinion, without a legal opinion, could expose the city to viable risk and undermine the principle of inclusion and equity mandated by the federal law and under the oversight of the United States Justice Department.
Thank you.
Well, good evening. First time I've been to one of these. I really wanted to come tonight and see what's going on. So my name is John Winfrey, 17547 Park Place Circle, Ferrysburg, Michigan, 49456. Reason I'm here tonight primarily is because of that half telephone pole over there by the fire barn. Is there anything we can do with it? It's that cutoff, it looks terrible. Okay, so that was really my only thing I really wanted to talk about, but again, just kind of wanted to see what was going on. Thank you.
Are you talking about the vines that grow across the street there? Is that what you, by the,
No, there's a fire barn right there at the
Right.
corner of 174th and North Shore,
Right.
by the fire, it looks terrible.
which pole are you talking about? I'm not sure.
The one that's cut off, it's about that tall, it's brown.
Okay. I go by it every day and I don't see it anymore, I guess.
Yeah, so there you go.
Sir.
Your Honor?
Hey, Craig, we've talked a little bit about the poles right across the street here and the mess with all the cable and everything. What's going on further up or further south by Fire Barn?
I think it was when the BLP put a new pole in, they left the old pole there. That's what you're referring to. You can look into that.
But how about the restringing of wires that's been going on for years, it seems? Where we've got excess wire just looped around up on top of the poles up here.
Yeah. I met with a representative of the cable company and he said he was gonna look into it.
Can you get with the BLP on the pole that he's talking about by Fire Barn?
Yes.
Send something to
Yep.
City Council on that?
Yep.
Thank you.
Same question I had.
Okay, very good.
Regina
Next
Schoberg.
public comment.
Regina Schoberg, 17542 Parkwood Drive. I just want to alert everyone to the League of Women Voters Mayoral Forum on Thursday, 6:30, Spring Lake District Library in the Baird Program Room. This is for the August 5th primary. The League of Women Voters, as far as I'm concerned, is the gold standard of fair, objective forums. All the questions are secret, even for most of the members. So I would advise everybody to go and find out what's going on.
Lyons. Good to see you.
Thank you, Mayor. Joe Lyons, that's my old address, 16845 Virginia Avenue in Ferrysburg. I just want to make a little comment with regard to Mrs. Hopp and her concern about ADA. Just so you're aware, I had a friend, she's passed away now, who spent her entire adult life in a wheelchair. And I can tell you that if she were imposed with the restrictions that I have read with regard to the standing in line and having to provide a two-day notice of making comment to the council, that she'd have your butts in court. She was adept at all the provisions of ADA, Title II, and I think we need to consider before we make any decisions about that. We need to get a full study of that of the requirements and what we need to do as a city, because I'd hate to see the taxpayers of this community being burdened with a lawsuit as a result of our not having accommodated people who have physical disabilities. Thank you.
Thank you. Craig, you received an email from Rebecca Hop regarding ADA.
Yes, I did, Friday afternoon.
And what's the plans with it? What are we gonna be doing?
I forwarded it to the city attorney and I have not heard back yet.
Okay, so it's just a work in progress.
Correct.
Very good.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I requested that Craig supply us by this meeting, in fact, a 3 weeks ago, or not the last meeting, the meeting prior to, a legal opinion from Mr. Bessinger. Why is that not on our desk?
Legal opinion on,
The ADA.
There was something in your packet and we got another comment about our policy has been forwarded to the city attorney for his review.
So at this point in time, we actually can't vote on it because we don't have the proper information, is what you're saying?
It'd be my recommendation that it be tabled until we hear from the city attorney.
Okay, thank you.
yes, sir.
Travis Andrews, 17741 Bayberry Drive. The reason there's agenda item 7V, the work session on temporary housing request. I had a tree land on our house almost a month ago. We were able to move back in until they found asbestos that was released during the impact. And there's going to be an abatement, and then builders have found moisture all over the house, so they're gonna pretty much tear the whole top of the house off. And they suggest we don't live there during that time period. It might be a period of months. And so we have a dog and a small child, and we don't really want to live out of a hotel for a period of months. We don't have a clear timetable. It's when it exactly is going to start. The abatement contractor said this summer, hopefully. So with that in mind, I was considering one option would be to live in a temporary housing situation, like an RV camper that potentially could park in the backyard. I've seen it done before. It's fairly common according to the RV company that rents these. They deliver them, they hook them up properly, and then they take them away. They were surprised here that Ferrysburg doesn't have a clear ordinance allowing this. I lend my support to making this an easy process, particularly for those that are going into emergency situations. Apparently, it's not very common in our town, but all it would take is some sort of natural disaster, a direct tornado hit or wildfire or something, for hundreds of people to be displaced and need housing. And of course, this time of year during the summer, it is particularly hard to find good housing. So I'll be around during the work session if you have any more questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Move it on. Move it on. Please.
Good evening, Lisa.
Thank you. Lisa Menerick, 18974 Piney Point Road, the top of East, the old Crosstown Lane. I would like to thank you very much for my 8 years of professional service from the city of Ferrysburg to the Loudoun District Library. I am the member of the American Library Association. I am the representative from our library from the national chapter going to Philadelphia at the end of this month. I served with personnel, policy. I also was on the Loudoun District Library sale on Robbins Road, which created a surplus for us for the next couple of years to warrant the Consumers Power tax base that we lost, as you all are aware of. So I just want to share with you that I would like to continue very much as your representative, and I appreciate the time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Do we have any other public comments? Seeing none, let's move on. Item number 6 is consideration of approval of the consent agenda. 6A, approve the June 2nd, 2025 city council minutes as printed. And 6B, approve the bills memo in the amount of $111,118.04.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
We got a request for a late payment for some work at Firebarn Park for the improvements. So we'd like to add that invoice into with this bills memo, and that changes the amount to $139,918.04.
That's the 26 grand. Or
28.
Okay.
Your Honor?
Yes.
Explain that one to me, Craig.
The contractor is requesting a draw for the work he's done
At,
Fire Barn Park.
okay. That clarifies. Your Honor, before we do this, could we make a note that Mr. Sturley showed up? Did you note that?
Yep.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda with the modification of 36,000, what was it?
139,918.04.
Support.
And this additional, Craig, from Fire Barn is for the loose soil, correct? And for a drainage line?
For the work that he's done, clearing out some of the land, putting the new drain pipe in, and so forth.
Okay.
Cement.
Okay,
Your
very
Honor?
good. Yes,
Craig, did you say this was a draw or this is an additional cost?
That's a draw.
It's a draw. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Gotcha. Thank you.
anyone else have anything? Nope, seeing none, Amber?
Councilmember Sias.
Yay.
Councilmember Murdoch. Yes. Councilmember Kate.
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt.
Yes.
Councilmember Sturley.
Yes.
Councilmember Montgomery.
Yes.
Mayor Carlson.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Moving on to new business 7A, presentation from John Knott, Sergeant John Knott of the Ottawa County Sheriff's Department. My name is come right up.
Well, my name is John Knott, and I want to thank Mayor, council members for inviting me here today just to speak a little bit and introduce myself. I've worked with the Ottawa County Sheriff's Office approximately 19 years now. Before that, I was in the military for 5, in the Army. I was a paratrooper with the 82nd Airborne Division. Loved that too. I've devoted my life to serving either a country or community. I've had the privilege to work most areas in the county, if not all areas in the county. I can tell you wholeheartedly, and I'm not just saying that, that the Ferrysburg, Spring Lake area is probably one of the best communities in this county, if not the best community in the county. I've been here since September. Absolutely love it up here. I don't live in the area, however, I typically try not to work where I live, but I adopt the community as my own. And I like to think of it as my own community, and that's how I treat it. That's how, when things happen in the community, it affects me as well, and I want to make sure everything runs smoothly in here. My goal with the Ferrysburg area and Spring Lake area is to get back to grassroots policing. I think we lost that over time. I want the deputies to get out of their cars, not stay in their cars. When you have a deputy that just stays in their car or whatnot, you just see the police car go by. You don't know who the person is behind that. You don't get to make that connection. So that's very important to me, getting connections with the business owners, the homeowners, the residents, and solving some of the traffic issues that we have within the community. We're a destination area, especially in the summertime. It gets busy. People going to the beach. It gets congested. We have speeders. So some of my responsibilities and my goals are to try to curb that, those areas where maybe they've been left unattended in years past as well. We're always open. We have a good crew up here. I've been blessed to have a good group of deputies. I've got some new people that have a lot of fire in their bellies, and then I have some older deputies that have been around a long time and they have a lot of knowledge of what's going on and knowledge of the laws as well. Not only are we here to protect and serve the community too, my job is make sure that the city is protected from various ordinances as well, make sure that we're not violating people's civil liberties and whatnot. So that's very important to me. Like either than that, I always have an open door. You guys can reach me, email, phone. I'm always available to answer any questions. Thank you.
Your Honor?
Any city council members have any questions?
Yeah, we talked prior to the meeting about emphasizing North Shore Road.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I want to emphasize that to you.
Yep, 100%. Like I said, I put it out all the deputies. We're coming up with various ways where we can constantly have cars there. Obviously, we can't dedicate a car 24/7. I have to balance our calls. Typically, your traffic enforcement, that's secondary enforcement. We have to take our priority calls first, life over traffic. But we want to get into there and solve those traffic issues, especially with speed trailers, anything that we can do. I understand that speed trailers is just one part of it. It just shows your speed. We got to have boots on the ground out there writing tickets and citations to those problems areas too when that problem arises.
All right, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Anyone
you for your
else in
time. I
City
appreciate
Council
that.
for questions or citizens? City Council, any questions? No? Mr. Ainsworth, you had something to say?
Could you bring that microphone over to him, please?
Hold on for a moment.
And the last few years, or for a long time really, I live at 19143, and I have a window, my breakfast window is 8 feet long, and I'm 300 or 30 feet from the road. So I sit there and I see these cars go by all the time, and I keep track of it, and I've reported to the city once in a while about it. 11 sittings in March, I counted 235 fast cars versus 34 slow. April was 12 sittings with 269 and 93 slow. May, all sitting, 30 slow. Never been.
I can tell you, past weekend or it was either weekend, I'm not agreeing with you whatsoever because I know one of my deputies got a guy going to eat down that road, opposite road. I'm trying to implement things that we may have fell short in the last couple of years. And guys, boots on the ground out there, we'll be seeing deputies come.
It's the longest straight stretch with Ferrysburg, part of Grand Haven.
Sure. Yep. Yep. We will change that.
Sergeant Knott, we appreciate that.
Yep.
That some continued and added enforcement out there will definitely help
100%.
things.
Absolutely.
That's
We'll see cars out there.
good deal.
100%, and that's the problem. Trailers.
No, they can speed out there. Hey, oh, nice. Very well. She says, I speed, I laughed about and joked about. I speed my house to the Darwin Avenue and then from Paradise. That like, oh, curb and speed right to the.
My goal is to stop that from happening in the future. I can guarantee you're going to see cops out there.
Very good.
Take a walk there.
Mr. Ainsworth, we'll see how the summer goes. It sounds like we may see some improvements out there. Anyone else have any questions for Sergeant Knott? Seeing none, thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, we got one more.
And I
Hold
mean
on.
that wholeheartedly. Thank
Go
you.
ahead.
Your Honor, Craig, could you request that the Grand Haven City Patrol out there, or do you guys cover that for them?
You know, that's Grand Haven cities out there. We can't really, I mean, for county, we can infringe on that, but typically we
Craig, so could you send a request to the Grand Haven City Council that they increase the police presence out on their side of North Shore Road?
Yes.
And we could send a resolution signed Do we need a resolution to vote on it, to send it to them, or just do it?
I can have a conversation with them.
Okay, thank you.
And say we have assisted Grand Haven with various calls on their side of the, always open to helping them, but typically.
Well, if they see a Grand Haven cruiser out there, it's gonna go through Ferrysburg to get there.
Yep.
So that's another police presence.
So,
I'm
no.
trying, Mr. Ainsworth.
And because we have county here now, I can get the traffic cars out there as well. I'll request our traffic cars. That's all they do is specialize in traffic. Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you for input. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Moving on to item agenda 7B, presentation C3 Outreach Committee, C3's Plant Up and Fly Rate Project. Good to see you guys tonight.
Thank you, Mayor Carlson and members of the City Council. There's two of us here representing C3, the Outreach Committee. I'm going to turn it over to our chairperson, Rod, who has some remarks, and then I would like to say some as well.
It's a pleasure to be here, an honor to be here to represent C3 Spiritual Community. Brian has done the major part of work on this, so I'm just here to talk off the cuff. It's great that I learned that Ferrysburg has a tree committee or team, and I just like, wow, this is too cool. And C3 is built on core values, and one of the 6 core values is environmental sustainability. And so we try to participate in actions that promote the health, well-being of the environment. So it's been really great that C3 could partner up with the city here to do this program where we are planting from donations to C3, not just C3 members, that will help plant the trees. Ryan will give you the particulars on how many and so on, but we are so grateful that you've worked this out. Now, I know there's a lot of work to be done to plant them and where they go and all that, so it's not as if C3 is doing this by themselves. We so much know that and appreciate your part in this. So thank you for your part in help of the environment in West Michigan.
Thank you, Rod. So I will be presenting a ceremonial check and the regular check here in a second, but first there's some thank yous in order in addition to what Rod said. Everyone from Manager Messenger, Mayor Carlson, tree board members, recreation board members, Gary Post, who actually attended a C3 opportunity and thanked our members, and those communities that have also participated, Spring Lake and Grand Haven, and the Verplank Foundation and the Grand Haven Area Community Foundation, who matched previous contributions we've made to this project. So we're pleased to say, and there's paperwork on your desk, but go ahead, the amount of contributions total $4,800 that our donors made at $80 per tree, with the expectation that depending on bids, whatever, and a very generous match from a donor advised fund that this would produce 60 trees for the benefit of Ferrysburg's residents and parks, and of course for the benefit of the community. The only several things that are key, and I have a copy in front of you, there are 8 members who asked that these trees be noted in your minutes as being an honor of several people, and I'd like to read their names briefly. Gerald and Lindia McMaster, in recognition of the Shannon McMaster family. Christine Moulter Gray, in memory of Reverend Raymond and Hilda Moulter. Christine Moulter Gray, in memory of Rhoda Moulter. Stephen Harvey, in honor of Craig Bessinger. Deb and Mike Schubert, in honor of Marilyn Trinklin. Ryan and Karen Cotton, in honor of Wanda and Jim Peters. Thomas and Annie Wassman in memory of Ruth Clark, and Yvonne and Ron Olmsted. And here comes a challenge because she is from the Netherlands. In honor of my brother, beginning with an H, I'll just say, well, I don't know how to pronounce the name. I tried to reach her and wasn't able to today. So we're grateful to those special honorees. And I would just want to give you a slight biology lesson, and then I'll be done. With the addition of these trees, 60, there's 170 trees have been planted by the C3 community with the assistance of those foundations that I mentioned. These are not small trees. These are 8 to 12 feet high is what they're intended to do. And with that, 340,000 tons of carbon dioxide has been sequestered. And you wonder, how can that happen in a little tree? Well, it's because that carbon, through the miracle of photosynthesis, then produces 900,000 metric tons of oxygen. So everything that we breathe here in the Tri-Cities is due to trees and other plants through photosynthesis. And we're grateful to be able to be part of that. Is there anything I left out, Rob? Mayor, may we present you with the ceremonial check?
You can take a photo.
Yep.
Tuesday best is better.
If you can pronounce that name.
I didn't hear it. Anyone work on it later, huh?
I'm impressed, no camera broke.
Craig, what are the plans for all these trees?
The Recreation Commission's been looking at locations to plant the trees. They worked on that at their meeting last week.
What a great opportunity, 60 trees,
Yes,
8 to 12 feet tall.
yes,
Staff will be able to do some installation.
yes, this fall.
Wonderful. That's a great gift. Thank you so much. Moving on to agenda item 7C, discussion to take action to approve a special land use and site plan approval to operate a brewery on parcel number 70-03-09-300-059, commonly known as 17697 174th Avenue. Craig, you want to fill us in on this?
Yes, we received an application to operate a brewery at one of the suites in Olympics Plaza. The Planning Commission held a public hearing on that request at their meeting last week. There were no public comments. They did recommend to City Council to approve that. The concern the planner had with parking, the Planning Commission discussed that, and the consensus of the commission was that due to the amount of parking that's over at Olympics, the hours of the brewery operate compared to the other businesses in there, that parking would not be an issue.
Mm-hmm. And just so everyone is aware, this is the same operator that was looking initially at moving into the Keenan Marine Building, right?
Correct.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I move for approval.
Very good. Support. Motion and 2 supports on the floor, Amber.
I have a question.
You bet.
Craig, do they need liquor license, liquor control commission or anything like that?
Yes, they will need that. He's gonna work on remodeling the suite to get it ready for his business. It'll take a little bit of time.
Thank you.
In Planning Commission, we addressed the parking issue, but we felt that the parking lot was plenty large enough that parking was not going to be an issue, particularly since we had entertained and approved moving into the Keenan Building, where on Saturdays there isn't a parking spot to be had. So this is a good thing.
Yes.
Any other comments? Seeing none, Amber?
Councilmember Murdock? Yes. Councilmember Kate?
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt?
Yes.
Councilmember Sturley?
Yes.
Councilmember Montgomery?
Yes.
Councilmember Sias?
Yes.
Mayor Carlson?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Moving on to 7D, discussion to take action if appropriate to approve an amendment to the city council procedures.
Your Honor, I'm gonna make a motion, we table it until we get an opinion from the city attorney. And I have another issue with this. Typically, I don't know how this got changed, but typically on a agenda item, there was no time limit on comments from citizens to address a public an agenda item. How did we get from that to 3-minute limit on the first comment period was always 3 minutes. When they addressed a agenda item, typically we let them talk until they had made their point. I have a concern about that.
Okay. Craig, how did staff develop this?
So we have a motion on the floor to table it. If there's a second, there's no discussion.
Support. Support. But my question is, how did we get 3 minutes on the agenda item? I think in '97, I don't remember when we passed it, the last city council procedures. There was no, I'm getting a lot of feedback from people that if they want to discuss this, something on the agenda, they may not have enough time to make their point in 3 minutes. I think that should be deleted out of there.
I'm not sure that's in there.
But every time somebody gets up to get a public comment on an agenda item, Amber puts a clock on the table.
For public comment, I do.
Excuse me?
I said I place it up there during public comment at the open and end.
Well, we're limited to 3 public comments on the beginning of the meeting and at the end of the meeting. But when an agenda item is reached and there's public comment on it, we never had a time limit on it prior to this.
Craig, are you able to find that in there?
We'll look into that.
I mean, if you can't find it, you can certainly just email us all later if we can't even have this discussion under.
Yep, we'll look into it.
Under Robert's Rules of Order.
Yes. Again, there's a motion on the table.
Yes.
Motion to table, there should be no discussion. We should move on.
Understood. Mr. DeWitt?
Oh, excuse me, there is no preset time limit on it. I
Okay.
found it.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
So it's above section 14,
Yep.
Craig. It says there's no preset.
So
I was really interested in City Hall emailing us this because we can't discuss it and we're gonna move forward now.
okay,
Right.
good
Okay.
enough. Let's go.
Thank you.
We need to vote on the motion here.
Thank you. That's true. Amber, go ahead.
Okay, Councilmember Kate,
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt, Councilmember Sturley,
Yeah.
Councilmember Montgomery,
Yes.
Councilmember Sias,
Yes.
Councilmember Murdoch? Yes. Mayor Carlson?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Very good. Moving on to 7E. Discussion to take action if appropriate to approve a request from Walden Green Montessori to lease space at Ferrysburg City Hall for $10,000 for 2025, 2026, and for $10,000 for 2026, 2027. Craig, can you fill us in, please?
Yes. Last year, City Council approved a standardized rate for tenants here at City Hall. We relayed that information to all our tenants. Walden Green's been discussing it. They come back with a counter offer for 2 years for $10,000 to use the same rooms that they did for previously.
And how does this rate compare to what comparable people are paying?
So we advised them for the 25-26 school year that their rent was going to go up to $12,000. And for the 26-27, their rent was going to go up to $13,500. They're counting at $10,000 for each of those years.
Craig, what was the previous rate before that?
They were paid $1,600
We're
Bless you.
going from 1,600 to 10,000 under this proposed.
That's what they're requesting, yes.
Okay, thank you. I'll make a motion to approve the request from Walden Green.
Support.
Any further discussion from city council?
Your Honor?
Yes.
I think it's somebody from 600, 10,000. That's just,
Your Honor,
Go ahead.
we proposed a lease rate to Walden Green. They countered with this, seemingly that they are in agreement with that. They don't seem to think that it's too much. And if they don't think it's too much, I don't think the city should balk at it. We're still giving them a rate less than what we are advertising. So this is just a counter, and it seems like a win-win for both parties.
Definitely, and it's below, well below market rate.
yeah, no, I was saying that 10,000 is fine. We were asking. You're willing to pay 10, then
Comfortable with that? Okay, good.
Your Honor.
Yes.
Craig, it seems like they're using the facility for more than just school. Is that covered or addressed on their lease, subleasing or sub-use of the facility, just from insurance perspective?
I'll look into that.
Because I know they do the adult band and all kinds of other things, and I'm fine with that as long as we're.
Okay.
Anyone else? Seeing none, Amber, could you call roll, please?
Councilmember DeWitt.
Yes.
Councilmember Sterling.
Yes.
Councilmember Montgomery.
Yes.
Councilmember Sias.
Yes.
Councilmember Murdoch.
yes.
Councilmember Kate.
Yes.
Mayor Carlson.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Good deal. Moving on to 7F, discussion and take action if appropriate to approve the 2024-2025 city budget amendments.
On your desk was a proposed budget amendments for the fiscal year 24-25. We'll first start off on the first page. We're going to increase revenue. We got a housing incentive grant for $50,000. We're going to take a draw for a little over $12,000. So we want to show that on the books, and we'll offset that with a $15,000 deduct from appropriation from fund balance. Moving down to expenses on the first page, salaries part-time are higher than budget. That was due for the intern staying longer than we expected. Community promotion, we're going to reduce that expense by $10,000. We did pay for half the digital signs. The next half will be paid in the next fiscal year, 25-26. Equipment line item is going to be reduced by $10,000. There's some items we did not budget, or we budgeted for, we did not purchase, computers and copy machines. Police service contract, we budgeted $750,000. We budgeted a little on the high side. We wasn't really sure how much we were going to pay extra onto the Ferrysburg Spring Lake pension fund on that. So we're a little over budget on that, so we're going to reduce that line by $32,500. Planning services is going to go up by $7,500. That's going to cover the extra work he's working on with the housing grant. And the bike path maintenance, we're going to increase that item by $15,000. The Public Works Department made a conscious effort to keep the bike paths clear this winter, and so they were out there. It takes over a day to clear the bike paths, and with the snow we got last year, they were busy keeping the bike paths clear. Moving down to contracted services, the seawall, we paid for that out of the Parks and Recreation budget. The extra work that was done for $50,000, and maintenance is up $15,000. That's basically due to lawn care costs increasing for the parks. Planning service on the next page, we did not use that. So we're going to reduce that down to 0, and contingencies was not used, so we'll reduce that down to 0. Overall, in the general fund, there's no change in the overall budget. Moving on to the last page, our permits issued were increased substantially over what we budgeted. So we're going to increase our revenue by $49,500. With the increase in permits, comes increased inspections, so we increased expense for the inspectors. by 49.5, so that we have a budget of 139,000 for revenue and expenses in the building department.
I had a couple questions, unless someone,
And we usually just pay for that out of that one line item.
okay, so Jurosic is gonna be, that firm is gonna be getting more money for that housing plan, is that
He's
correct?
doing more work, so he'll have increasing expense.
Okay, yeah.
What, on planning services, Craig, we're zeroing out a $13,000 budget for 10,000.
So we have two planning services really in the budget. One was for the planning commission on Department 400, and one was for some extra planning services on 850. So typically, if something came up where we're going to do a strategic plan for the city or our city council, we'd pay it out of that line item.
What about the fact that we've got 13 grand on the last page, but you got it zeroed out at 10? So you're keeping $3,000 in it?
Oh, no, that should be 13,000.
Okay.
That's what I was asking.
That's what we thought, okay. And then, of course, all the building permit fees and plumbing inspection fees and whatever, those are just direct pass-throughs.
That's correct.
So when we see larger numbers there, that's not necessarily,
It's not
it's not
expensive.
increased expense for the city.
Correct.
Anyone else have any other comments? Mr. DeWitt, you're always spicy for this, no?
I studied it, man. Well,
I know, it's good. Okay, Amber, could you call roll, please?
Need a motion first?
Oh, that's right, we need a motion. Jeez, I'm
Motion,
off.
motion of support
Thank you.
to approve city budget amendments.
I'll support.
Councilmember Sterling.
Yes.
Councilmember Montgomery.
Yes.
Councilmember Sias.
Yes.
Councilmember Murdoch.
Yes.
Councilmember Kate.
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt.
Yes.
Mayor Carlson.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. Moving on to 7G, these are the approvals of appointments to various boards and commissions. I had asked Clerk Amber to not do roll call, to just do a yay or nay, up or down vote.
Your Honor,
Unless we have something contentious. Yes.
I'd also like to add a motion that we combine items 7G through 7T, since every one of them includes only one person.
Honor, 7T to 7P, I have to recuse myself on Q. So we go for G to P, one vote I would assume.
Okay. I'll amend that.
I'd prefer to do them individually, if possible. Enough with speed around them.
Mr. Parliamentarian, is it possible to do them all at once?
It's up to city council, yes.
We'll whip through them. We're gonna do them singly right through.
If it's a problem, I'll withdraw the motion. I'm not going to worry
Okay.
about it. I'm just trying to save time.
Very good. Okay, moving on to 7G, approve the mayor's appointment of Gary Post to the Planning Commission for a term ending July 1st, 2028.
I'll make a motion to appoint Gary Post.
Support.
Good. Any discussion? Seeing none, Amber?
Are we doing roll? Okay.
Yea or nay?
Yea or nay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yea or nay? Yeah, yeah. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All the same?
Oppose the same.
Motion passed.
Motion passed.
Thank you. Moving on to 7H, approve the mayor's appointment of Heather Hawley to the Planning Commission for the term ending July 1st, 2028.
So moved.
Support.
Discussion? Seeing none? Amber?
All in favor, say yea.
Aye.
Okay.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passed.
Good. 7I, approve the mayor's appointment of Mason Mulligan to the Zoning Board of Appeals for a term ending July 1st, 2028.
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion? None? Amber?
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passed.
Thank you. 7J, approve the mayor's appointment of Joe Lyons to the Zoning Board of Appeals for term ending July 1st, 2028.
So moved.
Support. Motion and support. Any discussion? Seeing none?
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passed.
Moving on to 7K, approve the mayor's appointment of Emily Sturley to the Recreation Commission for a term ending July 1st, 2028.
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion? None? Okay. Amber?
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passed.
7L, approve the mayor's appointment of Jacqueline Hoffman to the Recreation Commission for the term ending July 1st, 2027.
So moved.
Support.
Discussion? Seeing none?
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passed.
7M, approve the mayor's appointment of Nancy Jensen as a regular member to the Kitchell-Linquist-Hartford Dunes Preserve Board for a term ending July 1st, 2028.
So moved.
Or any discussion? Seeing none. Amber?
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passed.
We're almost through these. 7N, approve the mayor's appointment of Therese Buck to the Beautification Committee for a term ending July 1st, 2028.
So moved.
Support.
Motion and support. Any discussion? Seeing none.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passed.
7O, approve the mayor's appointment of Candace Hespin to the Beautification Commission for a term ending July 1st, 2028.
So moved.
Support.
Motion and support on the floor. Any discussion? Seeing none.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passed.
7P, approve the mayor's appointment of Janet Joyner to the Beautification Commission for a term ending July 1st, 2028.
So moved.
Motion and support. Any discussion? Seeing none. Amber?
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passed.
7Q, approve the appointment of Mike DeWitt to the Construction Board of Appeals for a term ending July 1st, 2028.
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion? Please.
This isn't appointed.
What's that?
Is Mike not the council rep on it?
There isn't, it's not a council.
No, you have to be a
position.
licensed contractor to be on it. Okay. Yeah, I have to abstain. Right there in the
Yeah,
record.
no, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Any other discussion? Seeing none. Go ahead.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passed.
7S, approve the appointment of Nicole Larabelle to the Construction Board of Appeals for a term.
We skipped one.
I skipped one, sorry. Approve the appointment of Mike Walker to the Construction Board of Appeals for a term ending July 1st, 2028.
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion? Besides the fact that I almost skipped over Mr. Walker, don't let him know that. Amber, could you call roll, please?
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passed.
Very good. 7S, approve the appointment of Nicole Larabelle to the Construction Board of Appeals for a term ending July 1st, 2028.
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion? Seeing none? Go ahead, Amber.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passed.
Very good. Moving on to 7T, approve the appointment of Terry Grodemat to the Board of Review for a term ending July 1st, 2028.
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion? Grodemat? No. Amber?
Those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Motion passed.
Very good. Moving on to 7U, approve the appointment of blank to the Loudoun District Library Board for a term ending July 1st, 2028. There were 3 applicants for this.
That is correct. Yes.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I would like to hear from the applicants before we vote.
Yes, of course. Could we have the applicant? Mrs. Minerick is here. Okay. Were you going to speak as well? And Craig is our 3rd applicant here?
No,
Okay.
not tonight.
All right, I didn't see her. Go ahead.
After a lot of consideration and a bit of sadness, I've decided to withdraw my application to the Loudoun Library Board. I've consulted with no one about this except my husband, so I want to tell you a little bit about why I'm doing this. Years ago, former city manager Dennis Cron served honorably on the library board for 17 years. Joe Lyons decided with his council buddies to kick him off that board. They did that and replaced Mr. Cron with, guess whom? Joe Lyons. What ensued at that point was a total embarrassment for the city of Ferrysburg and the LDL board. Lyons ended up being replaced by Lisa Minerick. The LDL board became collateral damage for Ferrysburg's political underbelly, just as have the
Regina.
recently ZBA, the Planning Commission, and this council. Don't interrupt me, Jerry. A time for this to stop. The best way to accomplish this is to appoint a new face, someone with impressive credentials. I ask that you appoint Ms. Sanchez to the LDL board. She's Emeritus Professor of Management at GVSU, known for her Kitchell-Lindquist Dunes participation. She's well organized. She's a critical thinker. The board will need someone who has management experience, positive management experience, because the union contract is due June 2026. In 2022, there was quite a kerfuffle with the union when the staff decided to unionize because they didn't feel that they had the support of the board. And I'm sure the board has to work very hard to maintain and regain that trust, and I'm hoping that Ms. Sanchez can help us with that. She's totally uninvolved in Ferrysburg politics. Mrs. Minerick and I are not. We need new faces on boards in the city. As older board members leave service, it behooves you as leaders to appoint the best and the brightest to help secure a bright, civil, and unified future for the city. Although I believe I'm eminently qualified for the board position, I would rather sacrifice my own wishes and dreams for the benefit of the city. I don't want to be the catalyst for another collateral damage with the library. I ask that my letter submitted last Friday be included in the online packet for this meeting. I didn't know if I'd be able to present or not, so I submitted a letter at the last minute. One thing I wanted to bring out in my presentation, that I'm proud of my friends and family. I'm proud of my education and work experience. I'm proud that I stand up for what I believe and of what I've done and continue to do for my community. I'm obviously not somebody that has to pay to play. Thank you.
Your Honor,
Yes.
may I clarify a few things? Number one, Joe Lyons was not on the city council when we terminated. Yeah. He was, but your statement said that he was on city council at the time and we appointed him. That was not true. Joe Lyons applied. I believe there was 2 other applicants. We appointed him. Joe travels south and resigned, and at that point we appointed Ms. Menerick.
Yes.
I have a hard time with your name, I'm sorry.
Men are icky.
Yeah, there was no, she makes it sound like there was devious things going on here. There was no devious stuff. You can be removed. You're not, we're talking, not you. Enough.
Your Honor, point of order.
Yeah.
I would just, Lisa,
Go ahead,
Minerick,
Lisa.
I would very much, you have my information in front of you as to what I've done. Also, I've been on since 2017, 2018, came into going through the personnel. Dennis was on the Finance and Personnel Committee at that time with Finance. He stated we would need a millage. I was not for a millage, to be perfectly honest. I did not want the taxpayers of Ferrysburg to feel this. The penal fines that are for the arresting officers for traffic go directly to the library, and we divide them between Grand Haven, Ferrysburg. We had, upon John Martin, who was a fabulous director, executive director of the library, retire. He nominated 2 women that did not have the qualifications or background to take the position. We had some internal issues, but I'll tell you what, the board worked very hard between all the municipalities to ensure that we had everything in our power, that we had the best candidates for that position. Ellen Peters not only was a director of a library in Seattle, Washington, she had the ALA certification, which the other 2 candidates did not. One of the candidates we were putting through to get her master's in library science. It did not work. I'm just being perfectly honest. The board made that decision. All of the candidates that are on the Board of Trustees with Loudoun District Library are being reimbursed $50 to $40 per meeting from the Robinson Township, City of Grand Haven Public Schools. I work directly with Mary Jean Belter, who is our secretary liaison from Grand Haven Public Schools. They manage all of our infrastructure for our internet. They do a wonderful job. It's a great partnership. We have wonderful partnerships with many different organizations. We are going through the possibility of looking at a new roof. We have the new space available, which is going to have a 3D printer, which is going to be doing some great creative arts projects and having more visibility to the community. The community loves our library, as you do too. One of the main focal points that I had hoped that we would have in this fall, and we're working diligently on that, is to have lockers for the residents of the city of Ferrysburg to be able to get their materials so they don't have to go across the bridge. They can order them, they'll be dropped off, and they can be picked up. So that's a wonderful option. I feel that the experience that I've had with 47 and a half years as a public school teacher, loving books, loving children, loving adults and the learning. We have a seed collection basin, which is one of the things that they put in. The Tri-City Garden Club helps promote that as well. It's all free. We have hot spots that are for your community people that do not have good internet connection at their homes. We made sure that we had additional spots for them. I really, truly feel that I can continue to do great work for the city of Ferrysburg, and I appreciate your help with this. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And to be clear, Carol Sanchez is not here. I did not see her.
Correct.
Okay. Well, we're very fortunate in Ferrysburg. We've got 3 excellent applicants. Unfortunately, Regina has withdrawn with her master's degree in library science. So unfortunate, but so we have 2. We're going to need a motion and support on the floor so we can take some action.
Your Honor.
Yeah.
At this time, I would like to support Lisa Minerick for the Grand Haven Loudoun Library Board. Support.
Okay, motion and support on the floor. Any discussion?
Yeah, Your Honor.
Yeah.
I wanted to say something. I served with Carol on KLH, and she's talked to me about her interest in this position previously. It's a tough spot for city council to be in when we have 2 qualified people for a board position for us to make a decision like this. But what I want to say is this, is that we heard reference to stuff that happened in 1997 a while ago in our discussion. We watched Councilman Mike DeWitt try to throw someone out of our audience. There is toxic politics in this city, and they go back 20 plus years. I was a 20-something in grad school in 1997. I have no idea what happened in 1997, but I know what happens around the city. Being a part of this government body, I know how people are treated. I think it's time for this city council to move the page and bring new people into the fold. I have nothing against Ms. Menrick. I appreciate her service on the library board. I don't really know her. Clearly she's served the city, but she's part of an old guard of political figures in this city. And until we move past that, we're gonna have issues like we just had right up here before, where Councilman DeWitt tries to kick someone out of the audience because he doesn't like them or he doesn't agree with them. I'm ready to move past it. I have nothing against Ms. Merrick, but I'll support Carol Sanchez tonight.
Your Honor, I'd like to table this. I'd like to hear from. I'd like to hear. Not here tonight.
I would say she had an opportunity to be here. She knew.
I agree
the
with what
nomination.
Jake's saying. I just think we need to be
I
fair.
disagree with what Jake's saying. I'm so sick and tired of listening to politics that happened 27 years ago. And I'm tired of hashing it out every council meeting about things that happened a long time ago with people who aren't even involved with the council or committees anymore. You know, some of them are, but that's no reason to punish them. Lisa Minnick has done a great service for this city for 16 years. Yeah, I mean, 7 years, I don't, okay, yeah. And she's proven herself. She's never put petty politics in the way of the library. And it just really disgusts me that we got to talk about petty politics when we're just trying to nominate somebody for the library board. I mean, we're putting politics before the library board, and that bothers me. It just bothers me that we keep bringing back the past over and over and over again, and we just need to get past it. We need to get over it and move on as a city. I mean, we need to come together. There's no us and them. It has to be us together. It has to be unity in this city.
Thank you. We've heard from the peanut gallery on this side. How about you three guys? Any comments? Not at all. Okay, I'll give you my perspective, and that is I moved here 12 years ago not knowing a soul. And when I leave here, I'll just be gone. All my family ties are long, far away. Anyway, Ferrysburg politics certainly has been divisive through the years. And I looked at this and it's like, geez, I'm friends with Regina. But from an open perspective, I look at it and I say, do we need fresh blood? I enjoy Lisa's energy and the experience she brings to the library, but I also look at it and say, someone with a new perspective, Carol Sanchez, might not be a bad way to go. So I'm somewhat torn between degreed Master of Library Science, which is a rare thing to have, even in today's day and age, or Carol Sanchez, who might be provide an interesting perspective. As Jake has done, I've worked with Carol on KLH as well and been very impressed. So I'm torn.
Your Honor.
Yes.
Can I say one more thing?
Of course.
I agree with you, Jerry. I think the city does need to move beyond. I guess we just don't agree on how. But I do agree with you that I think the city needs to move past it if we're ever going to make progress in the city politically. It's just how. Do you continue to keep these people in the fold? Or how do you,
as long as they don't
finish?
give us a reason not to, Jake. I mean, what reason has Lisa given us?
And I'm not looking to punish Lisa. We're given a binary choice here. It's two qualified candidates. I'm not saying that Lisa's unqualified or that Ms. Sanchez is unqualified. We have to make a binary choice. We have two candidates. Me personally, I'm one of 7 people up here. Me personally, I worked with Ms. Sanchez. She's talked to me personally. She's asked for the position. And I'm inclined to support her. And I gave the reasons why. We agree on more than what you think. It's just on how we get there.
I totally, yeah, I agree with that. But I just feel like we can't punish Lisa Menrick for politics that took place here 27 years ago. Let's get over it. Let's get past it. If she give us a reason to disqualify her, then okay, I would agree with you. But she hasn't. She has never put petty politics before her duties at the Loudet Library. And there's no I know Carol Sanchez too, and I spoke with her Tuesday night about her appointment to the library board. And I agree with her. She is qualified, she's passionate, and I think she would do a good job. But she already serves on the KLH board. So why can't Lisa keep her position on the library board and Carol keep her position on the KLH board? Everybody gets a position on a board. I just don't see any reason not to disqualify Lisa. I'm sorry.
And I'm not disqualifying Lisa, I'm just supporting Ms. Sanchez. Nothing negative against Lisa Menrick. I appreciate her years of service, but I'm going to support Ms. Sanchez, and I'm just one of 7 people on this body.
So we have motion and support on the floor. Any more comments here? None? None? Okay, Amber? You know what, Amber? We probably should do roll call on this.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we need a motion.
No, I thought we had
Well, we had a motion for Lisa.
Yeah, we currently have a motion to appoint Lisa Menrick to the Loudet Library Board. Yeah. Councilmember Montgomery.
No.
Councilmember Sias.
Yes.
Councilmember Murdoch.
No.
Councilmember Kate.
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt.
Yes.
Councilmember Sturley.
No.
Mayor Carlson.
No.
Motion did not pass.
Make a motion to appoint Carol Sanchez.
Support.
Motion and support on the floor. Any further discussion?
Your Honor, can I say something?
We're gonna start on this end of the
Okay.
dais first. Any discussion from you guys?
Yeah, I would have hoped that Ms. Sanchez would have been here to present her case to the council. That doesn't necessarily disqualify her, but it would have been appropriate for her to be here to present her case. Talking to Jake and you people know her, I do not. So, just throwing that out there.
Discussion.
I just go ahead.
Okay. Okay, seeing no more discussion, could we get a vote on this? And this is in support of the appointment of Carol Sanchez to the library board.
Okay. Councilmember Sias.
No.
Councilmember Murdoch.
Yes.
Councilmember Kate.
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt. Councilmember Sturley.
Yes.
Councilmember Montgomery.
Yes.
Mayor Carlson.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Amber, if I may, I'd like to change my vote to a yes. Just for partisan politics sake.
It has been changed.
Thank you.
You may change mine also. Feel better.
Okay, both of those?
Done.
So Sias and DeWitt are both votes.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, very good. Moving on to 7V work session temporary housing request. Craig, you want to fill us in on this, please?
Yes, we have a resident that had some damage to their house during the storm last month. They need to vacate the property while it's being reconstructed. They're requesting to have temporary housing by using the camper on their property. We reviewed it with our city planner, and that's not permitted by the city. City council could hold enforcement for a while and directs planning commission to look at this and maybe permit it in the city in the future. The applicant is here. He spoke earlier today. If you have any questions.
How is City Hall planning on managing this after 3 months? This construction never goes within the desired window?
We would have to track it, you know, we track when building inspections are done, when they're final, what kind of inspections are being done. We would ask for a zoning permit with a site plan showing where the temporary housing is gonna take place, how they're gonna take care of utilities, water, sewer, electricity, and so forth. We see it, review that, and if it complies. We would probably use the draft ordinance that Mr. Drosik provided for us as a base.
Connor?
Yes.
I gotta say, I'm not opposed to this, but we need to put a restriction on it that, hey, if your house gets damaged in the storm, as this case, specific cases or specific times. We pass this as a temporary thing that does, we have to protect ourselves from me moving my cousin in on the back of my property as temporary housing and does not go away. We have to word this so it's specific to this case, this thing, and the wording has to be that it's not, that it can't be challenged without damage to your house or whatever. Can we word it in such a way, Craig, that?
So we don't have a provision in the zoning ordinance that will allow it. We have a provision in the zoning ordinance that prohibits it. So if city council is open to providing temporary housing, you would direct staff to pause enforcement and refer to the planning commission to draft an ordinance for future use.
Well, you understand my concern, because if we pass and say, hey, you can do it, you can move somebody in on your property. I specifically have to allow it for, you know, I without specifics, I would have to say I couldn't allow it, but in a particular case, you know what I'm saying?
For an emergency. I think as long as we draft the ordinance appropriately, where we not only take that piece out, but we add provisions that it is in case of an emergency and it's monitored by the city and all of that. You know, you can't rent out the trailer. It's only the occupants that own that stay there and so forth. But in the meantime, we're here to take care of our residents, and we should absolutely full enforcement until the planning commission can look at that.
For emergency purposes only at this time.
Correct. Yeah.
So at this point, Craig, is it set up in on the property?
I don't know the answer to that.
It sounds like it's not.
It is not? Okay. Okay, could you come up, please?
Yeah, I'm looking at options currently for where I can move my family.
Okay.
Before the abatement, asbestos abatement hasn't started yet, and they don't have a timeline for when it will start, but sometime this summer. So we have a window to make, it doesn't have to be immediate for me, but ideally for other residents, if this were useful in our town, that it would be something that could be done without me having to be, or without them having to be here.
Yeah, Craig, I think there's probably a lot to go on with other municipalities. I mean, I was in New Orleans right after Katrina when you had an entire city, metropolitan city, and FEMA trailers. We can make something, right, for emergencies only where you can live.
Right, planning commission can draft an ordinance and review, do the public hearing, go through the steps, yep.
So you're saying we have a month or 2 or 3, is that correct?
I've not gotten a time estimate from the contractors, but yeah, we have time for my case.
So,
and would you put this on your property?
That is the so for example, my neighbor growing up, his house, part of it collapsed, and so he lived in a trailer when I was a kid for almost a year because construction takes way too long. And it just seems like a normal thing that if you can't live in your house but you want to live on your property, you have enough property. Now, a lot of Ferrysburg doesn't have enough property. Maybe that they don't have a backyard that's accessible, and so maybe this isn't widely applicable. But for those of us that do have a backyard and a dog and a kid, it would be really nice to maintain access to our property for an extended period during this construction.
Understood.
no, excuse me. So you will make provisions to hook up sewer, water, electric,
The RV rental company, the temporary housing that our insurance is going to work with, would deliver it and hook it up properly. And they said if for whatever reason it's complicated and they can't hook it up properly, then they'll get the plumber or the electrician to do it properly.
So I'm assuming that they're not talking about that they pump out your sewer drainage, whatever.
That might be, it sounded like the electricity is just a heavy gauge extension cord, basically.
That's not a concern.
The water is just hooked up to your spigot, and the sewer goes from the RV to the clean out of your sewer in your house. So it goes through somehow into your house. I have a door. The clean out happens to be right about where the
They
RV
run
would
it
be
through a
parked.
emaciator pump.
Yeah, so you're gonna hook it up to your existing sewer in your house somehow.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, that sounds like the way they would do it. Yeah.
And that way gravity isn't the issue, they just
Right.
pump it.
Right. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Staff, you have enough to run with on this?
So the consensus of city council is to pause enforcement on this at this time?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, could I just get a clarification? So that means that technically I could put the trailer on the backyard and
You can't do nothing yet,
okay.
okay?
But
It's gotta go to the planning commission, they come, and then it comes back to us.
No, that's incorrect. That's incorrect.
Yeah. The point of pausing enforcement is so you can do it. Correct, Craig?
That's correct.
You can proceed with your
Okay.
with your RV or trailer, sir.
Okay.
So,
Do we need a motion to pause it?
no, before we proceed though, we'd like to see a site plan showing how it's gonna be hooked up and where your temporary living quarters is gonna be placed on your property and so forth.
So essentially the process for a 7-day, the zoning.
Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah, that seems very reasonable. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just to be clear, at this point, he's allowed 7 days.
City council, I think the consensus of city council was to pause enforcement to allow him up to 3 months at this time.
We want to
And
see.
we're gonna be working on revising the code. And then he's gotta work out the details to get his trailer set, if he's gonna set it before the 3 months.
So you're good with that, Craig?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Moving on to 7W work session city logo project, excuse me. This was presented to Planning Commission, and Planning Commission threw it back to City Council to get some idea as to what they were thinking about for city logo. Additionally, we received a quote, didn't we, Craig?
So we spoke with a marketing company who's done this for another couple of communities adjacent to us. They came out, met with me and discussed how they go about doing this. They get focus groups and come up with some ideas, bring them back to the planning commission or whoever, and with the reasons they come up with their suggested logos. And then they go through the process of adopting it and how to implement it and the time frame and so forth like that. A ballpark figure to do all that work was like $30,000. So some information where they worked with Norton Shores on how they did that was included in your packets. And so we talked at the Planning Commission, and when they saw the dollar amount, they wanted to get some direction from City Council. How deep a dive you want to do into the city logo? Do you want to spend $30,000 or do you want to do something different? Mr. Joseph included some information in your packet about his company and with another firm did some work for the village of Fruitport and came up with a logo right for a little less money than the $30,000. So Planning Commission was looking for kind of a ballpark, how much money you want to spend, how deep you want to change the logo. Do you want to just have the Planning Commission do it, come up with some ideas on different items in the middle of the logo, a different tagline, or do you want to get a marketing firm involved?
Your Honor?
Yes.
I think we got better place to spend 30 grand than this.
I agree with you, Mike.
Yep. Sorry, but that's,
Yeah.
I would like to see if we can talk to Revel and get that price down. We probably don't need the scope that Norton Shores went through, and see if there's grants available. Craig, I'm happy to reach out to Revel to talk to, I know Sarah at Revel, and to see if she can work with us at all.
It's up to the council.
Your Honor. So when we explore a remarketing project of the city, my preference personally is to include marketing professionals in that process. If we were to get an audit of the city, we'd hire a CPA. We wouldn't have planning commission do it. We need professionals to do this. The planning commission are volunteers. They're not marketing professionals. We need to decide as a city council what we want to get out of this, and then decide if it's a worthwhile investment or not. But I don't approve taking a shortcut, doing it halfway just to be doing it. If we follow through with this, I want it to be a successful campaign where we can make a difference in the city and not just throw up a new logo and for the sake of putting up a new logo.
Your Honor?
Yes.
So, as I understand what you're saying is it should be a city council and take it out of the hands of the planning commission?
That's not what I'm saying.
I have a hard time hearing you, Jake.
Okay. What I'm saying is that I think what is being proposed or asked of us is what we want, what we're thinking about spending on this, the kind of resources that we want to put toward a project like this. That's what the Planning Commission's asking us, so that they can choose a better path forward. Rich, you serve on the Planning Commission. Is that my accurate in that?
That's correct.
And my opinion is that Planning Commission is a group of volunteers and not a group of marketing professionals, and that this project is best done by marketing professionals and not our Planning Commission. I truly trust them to advise us on it, but I don't think that they should create some kind of logo and then have us judge that. Or
No, I understand what you said.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with Jake. If we're gonna do it at all, we should bring in some kind of professional marketing. And the question I got is, to what point?
Well, that's what I said. What do we want to accomplish? I mean, I have some ideas on what I think the city can be, but I'm one person.
But my thought is, what are we going to market? We have a lot of parks.
That's a good start.
And we have Leppings.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean,
When you read our shield now, does the Ottawa Peninsula tell you anything about Ferrysburg? Would you see the shield and think about going to Ferrysburg based on the fact that we're dubbed the Ottawa Peninsula?
well, I guess my point is, we don't have motel. We barely have a restaurant, a couple, I guess the new one, so you got two. 4th of July parade is basically a local thing. Coast Guard is, what does Ferrysburg actually get out of Coast Guard Festival, other than a lot of traffic? Now, we used to do the Coast Guard picnic. I'm assuming we may do that again. I don't know. We got kicked off it last year.
Not doing it
We're
this
not
year.
doing it.
No. Not doing it anymore?
They can keep it.
Good. That's my thought. They want it.
Stay on the logo talk, please.
So I guess, to what end? I mean, I'm not saying I'm opposed to it, but to what end? What do we have to market to out-of-state people or out-of-town people or people from Grand Rapids or whatever?
So as a resident, personally,
Yep.
I enjoy certain amenities in our city when they're available. We now have more restaurants than we've ever had in Ferrysburg. The only way that we're only going to attract businesses that provide citizens amenities is if people come outside of the 2,800 people that live in Ferrysburg and visit Ferrysburg and spend their money here. So If you want to attract businesses that potentially serve outsiders and yourself, then you have to start marketing your city to the people from the outside. There's a lot of people in Ferrysburg that are fine with just the way it is. There's two contingencies, really. Me personally, my opinion is that I think that it's quite a blank palette that has a lot of room to grow and develop. But there's another side that thinks we're a veteran community and it shouldn't change. I'm not going to say it's one way or the other, but I'm willing to put this discussion on the plate to have the discussion to see if we can be something different or better.
Well, I'm willing to have a discussion, but how much vacant commercial property we have in Ferrysburg? I mean, industrial property, we have very little. I'm not opposed to, somebody wants to buy a block of the old downtown and tear it down, put a nice restaurant in. I ain't opposed to that. But I don't, I just don't see the need, but I'm willing to listen.
But I also don't want to get to a point where we're trying to draw in new business constantly because we let the current businesses fail.
There's some neighboring municipalities, Fruitport, Norton Shores recently, that have seen benefit in it. I don't think they're doing it just to go through the motion. We have to be getting a return on our investment. If we're going to spend $30,000 for a marketing effort, we're going to have to get that back times, X amount. It's an investment in the city is what it is. It's not, I'm not willing to just throw the money away to revitalize our marketing if it's lighting money on fire. There has to be a case, some kind of justification made that there's going to be a return on our investment for this kind of project.
Can we invite someone from Norton Shores to come talk to us, Craig?
Yeah.
About their benefits they've seen?
Rather than that, perhaps we should bring in a marketing consultant to make a proposal and
that's what
present us some kind of options.
Is what William had talked about with Craig earlier, correct? Getting an a la carte pricing somehow?
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't know that they're going to give you, that's what they're giving you here is Rebel is saying this is what we made for Norton Shores. And we could do something similar for you, right? So we need to understand, once Norton Shores went through that, what benefit. But I don't know that there's many marketing firms out there that will do all the work up front and say, here's your proposal.
Well, I'm not suggesting they do all kinds of work, but they can come and kind of give us direction. And we could make a decision whether to give them a contract or not. You gotta understand, Norton Shores is a whole lot bigger city.
Sure,
A whole lot bigger tax rate, with a whole lot more open space.
Yeah. Yep.
Craig, you have enough to run on in this? We can do something?
So it sounds like the consensus of council was to invite someone from Norton Shores to talk to us about our experience.
There's no obligation for anybody from Norton Shores to come here and talk to us. Perhaps you could reach out to their city manager, ask for his opinion on their remarketing effort. At a minimum, maybe he could give some insight.
Sure, I can do that.
Thank you. Moving on, work session 7X, 2025 City Council goals.
Your Honor, I'd make a motion, we move that to the next meeting.
Thank you.
Support.
Councilmember Murdoch.
This is to table it.
Yes. Councilmember Kate.
Yes.
Councilmember DeWitt.
Yes.
Councilmember Sturley.
Yes.
Councilmember Montgomery.
Yes.
Councilmember Sias.
Yes.
Mayor Carlson.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. Report, city manager.
No report? Public comments first, please?
Pardon me?
Can we do public comments first, please?
Oh, sure, I'm sorry. Do we have any public comments this
Very
afternoon?
quick.
Very good.
Lisa Menerick, I would like to thank the council, and especially those council members that voted for me for Loudoun District Library. I really appreciate you. And for the years of 8 that I served you faithfully, it was nonpartisan, it was transparent, You got my minutes every month. And I did not miss a meeting other than once for a spring break to visit our son in San Francisco. So I just want to share that with you. The library does have money to do some tremendous things. So use the library, and please tell the community and people of Ferrysburg to use the library, because it is a magnificent thing. And I know Ms. Sanchez will do a tremendous job as well. I didn't know that she was running in the position for this, and I wholeheartedly will endorse her, of course, and especially because of her background. I am familiar with her. Getting on to the signage of the city of Ferrysburg, right there, the blue color was Bobby Joe, who was the mayor before me. I was the one that did the logo, and I designed it myself. I was a member of Lakeland Artists, and I helped out with that, and we have the best sign person in the city of Ferrysburg that did that for us. You pay dues to the Chamber of Commerce. What are they doing for the city of Ferrysburg? Seriously, you pay them dearly annually. They should be doing things for you, getting businesses involved. That's it. Even the movie industry was interested in doing Ottawa Sands years ago. So there are a lot of opportunities that we have here in the city. Thank you again. Appreciate it.
Lisa, I just want to tell you, I like that. I don't have a problem with any of that. So thank you.
I didn't do the Ottawa Peninsula. That's something new.
Yeah, I like the
Mayor
water.
Carlson.
I like the ship. I like the boats. I like it all.
That actually is our sailboat, the one on the right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service, Lisa.
Thank you. Thank you again.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes,
am I recognized?
yes. Yes, you are, Joe. Go ahead.
I've had this beard for 60 years.
Yes.
My name is Joe Lyons, and I live here in Ferrysburg and have been here in Ferrysburg for 38 years. And it really disheartens me to hear the comments that came from Mrs. Soberg this evening, and also from Mr. Sterling, who criticizes the government political involvement. There's been no political involvement here. But I would direct you back to May 5th of 2022, when you were selected by the Planning Commission in a political move. And how is it that you even managed to find yourself on the council? You weren't voted by the people of this community. You were appointed by a bunch of political buddies. Isn't that right? If this crap is going to stop in this city, it's going to be when we start reading and understanding the rules, Robert's Rules of Order, when we start respecting one another, when we stop this bullcrap that goes on in this city with the way that we call names for one another. And you know who you are. You know the people in this community that are causing issues. And it's got to come to an end. I beg that that happens. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any other additional public comments? Okay.
Regina Schoberg, not Soberg, 17542 Parkwood Drive. I wanted to point out to you, I worked for a marketing company for 4 years. We did branding workshops. I was in charge of PR. But a brand is a lot different than a a logo. A logo is a symbol of a brand. A brand is your core being, your mission, your value. So the first thing you have to do is decide what that is. Then you can look at the logo. We have talked at the Planning Commission about the city of parks. That might be something you want to look at. Then you have to decide if you want to change the logo or not. The logo, we had 2 city founding fathers, former Mayor Leon Still and Roger Jonas, come before us and talk about how Ferrysburg was going to be annexed by Grand Haven. And they quick got together and chartered and had the logo and everything later on. So that logo means a lot to those people. They don't want it changed. But I just want to point out, if you're going to, don't just say, here, change the logo. Come up with your brand first. Who are you? What are you? City of Parks would be great because that would help protect our natures, which is, green space is really important to the people of Ferrysburg, as you saw with the referendum. So I think you're getting, as my mom would say, bass backwards if you try to go with the logo before you go with the brand. So thank you.
Any other additional public comments? Yes.
Peter Schoberg, 17542 Parkwood Drive. Joe Alliance made some statements about how things are getting too political around here. Joe Alliance really is the underbelly of Ferrysburg politics. He claims to be the savior of everybody, but go check the police calls that were made on Joe Lyons. Go check how he's worked in this community. And you know what is really amazing is there is, I believe, still a complaint with City Council that my wife Regina should be kicked off of the Planning Commission because I exposed Joe Lyons as the pervert he is. Sue me, Joey.
Your Honor, please. This
Senate
personal
reports?
stuff's got to stop.
No report?
Okay. Anyone else have any reports?
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay, thank you.
Craig, I got a couple questions. Grenash's rental software going to be online this week?
We have a call to them to see what the status is right now.
Okay, that will be posted on the city website?
Yes.
Okay, why are we, the Fire Barn Park, the parking lot, apparently they didn't do the proper testing prior to their bids?
They did some soil sampling of where the parking lot was, the material was just a little too soft, so they had a concern about.
So they didn't do proper testing before the bidding?
They did some testing, but not in that exact area. They did some soil borings in there.
Okay. All right, no report after that.
Okay.
I've been contacted by the chair of the ad hoc committee on our EMS services. They're polling everybody about a meeting date. We don't know when that is yet, but when they're ready to go, we'll start talking about ambulance service.
Party in the park this Wednesday, unless there's rain. Craig, I assume you'll post that on the website or on Facebook if there's rain.
Yeah, we'll look at it. Yes, we'll publicize this and if something happens.
Okay. And then I met with city staff a week ago, 2 weeks ago, shared the some designs for our how we share our voting summary on social media. So I'll send that to Amber as well. They've all set up Canva accounts, and hopefully we can have something very similar soon. I'll get with Amber tomorrow and see if we can mock up something to summarize today's votes. Nora board meeting Thursday. Report.
Outstanding news about the graphics.
Yeah,
Reports.
yeah,
That's great
yeah.
news.
We met last Monday from Beautification Commission, and we're all set, ready to go for the 4th of July picnic. We're meeting next week to sort the prizes for the kids, and we'll be there. Hopefully the weather will be great, and we'll have a good turnout. And a report.
Yes, Your Honor. Craig, I had a couple discussions with residents. One was concerned about speeding in Parkwood through the condos there. Have we increased our police presence in that area?
Yes, I've talked to Sergeant Knott about that, and he indicated he's gonna have the deputies patrol that a little heavier.
Yeah. Jerry, there was a patrolman backed into a driveway on Parkwood last week, and they were in a very good spot.
Okay, yeah, you live right down there, so you would know, so, okay, thanks, I appreciate that input. Another concern a resident had was the inlet off of Smith's Bayou around Cove Street. Are you familiar with that? Where the drain comes out under the highway there that we just replaced? Some trees have fallen into that inlet with the last storm, and they're impeding folks from the boat traffic from passing through there. Is that our responsibility, or Coast Guard, or DNR, or who takes care of that?
I'm not sure if it's in the road right away. If it is, we'll look at it. Otherwise, the city doesn't get involved in anything on the water.
Okay, all right. Could you look into it and see
Yep,
if
sure
we
will.
can get it cleaned out a little bit?
Yep.
Everybody with boats back there is having a difficult time getting out to the bayou. So.
Okay.
Jake?
Yeah. I just wanted to comment regarding the public comments. I never called any applicant any names this evening. I've never called an applicant for a board position any names. It was a difficult decision for us tonight. It was a binary decision for us between two candidates. Someone was going to be disappointed tonight. I'm sorry that someone had to be disappointed tonight, truly. If I could, I would have appointed both of you to the library board, truly. But we were given two candidates, and we had to choose between one and the other. And it's uncomfortable. It makes it uncomfortable here for council and for the audience. And I just want to say I appreciate your service. I appreciate you putting yourself forth. I'm sorry that it didn't work out for you, but it's not any negative toward your service in the city or anything negative toward your character. And I just wanted to say that.
Do you have any other openings?
Mayor's public comments. Wednesday summer concert downtown in the park. That's always a great time, and come with an empty stomach because the food trucks are spectacular. The next day on Thursday, of course, is a candidate forum. Jerry and I will be there, as well as Mr. O'Donnell. It should be a lot of fun. It was fun 2 years ago, and I look forward to it again. It's a good time.
Yeah.
And then, pardon me? And then Saturday, we have Cops and Cones at, I always call it Miss Lita's, a la mode. So free cones for the kids, and fire department should be there, and the sheriff's department as well, and that'll be a great time. Other than that, I have nothing else. Thank you.
Tri-City Garden Club, Garden Walk is this Saturday in Spring Lake.
Oh, this
I'll give
Saturday.
you that heads up. Thank you.
That is a great time.
I really will miss you.
I wish